Most of us were raised on a lie. We were told that if we work the hardest, we'll become the richest. But if that were true, construction workers would be millionaires, and factory workers would own companies. Look around. The people working the longest hours are often the ones struggling the most. So if hard work isn't the answer, then what is? To understand that, you need to see how money actually moves. And for that, you need to hear a story. A story about a billionaire from Naples, Lorenzo De Luca. Lorenzo didn't believe in giving his children easy lives. He believed in testing them. So on their 18th birthday, he gave each of them the same gift. A check for $100,000. But it came with one condition. Start a pizza business. You have 30 days. Whoever makes the most profit earns their place in my empire. No guidance, no help, just one rule: win. The oldest, Marco De Luca, didn't hesitate. He took the path most people would take. He rented a small shop in the city, bought ovens, refrigerators, ingredients, hired a chef, a cashier, and a delivery driver. Every morning, Marco was the first to arrive. Every night, the last to leave. He worked through lunch rushes, dinner chaos, late-night orders. 12-hour days became normal. Sometimes more. He priced his pizzas at $12 each. And at first, it looked like it was working. Customers came in. Orders increased. The shop was alive. But numbers don't lie. After rent, salaries, ingredients, utilities, and the brutal commissions from delivery apps, the profit started disappearing. Then it vanished completely. By the end of the month, Marco had sold over 1,500 pizzas. And still, he lost money. Not a little. Thousands. He was exhausted, burned out, running a business that owned him, instead of the other way around. Marco did everything right, and still failed, because Marco was selling time. In a game where time is the cheapest asset. The second child, Sofia De Luca, watched her brother carefully. She didn't feel inspired. She felt curious. If money comes from pizza, why do I need to be the one making it? So Sofia didn't open a shop. She didn't buy ovens. She didn't hire chefs. Instead, she went around the city and found small pizza shops that were struggling. Empty tables, slow afternoons, unused capacity. She made him a simple offer. I'll bring you customers, and for every pizza you sell, I take a small cut. Most of them said yes. They had nothing to lose. Sofia took her $100,000 and spent it on one thing: attention. Local ads, flyers, online promotions. Orders started coming in, but not to her, to them. She simply connected demand to supply and took $2 from every order. No kitchen, no inventory, no stress. By the end of the month, Sofia made $12,000 in profit without ever touching a single piece of dough. Sofia didn't work harder, she worked smarter. She didn't build a business. She controlled the flow of customers. Then came the third child, Enzo De Luca. Enzo didn't look at small shops. He looked at scale. Instead of chasing customers, he went straight to institutions. Large restaurants, corporate cafeterias, food chains, places that needed pizza every single day, in large volumes. His pitch was simple: I'll supply you pizza, 10% cheaper than your current cost. But I need a contract and a 30% upfront deposit. At first, they hesitated. Why trust him? Why risk it? So Enzo used something none of the others had fully leveraged. His name, De Luca, reputation, trust. It worked. Contracts were signed. Deposits were paid. Over $500,000 collected, upfront. Now Enzo had something powerful. Not money, leverage. He didn't build a factory. He didn't hire workers. He outsourced everything. He found manufacturers, negotiated production, fulfilled the orders. No overhead, no heavy investment, just coordination. By the end of the month, Enzo made $120,000 in profit. He never made a single pizza. Because Enzo wasn't selling food. He was selling trust. And then, the youngest, Alessandro De Luca. He watched all three. Marco, working himself to exhaustion. Sofia, controlling demand. Enzo, moving contracts. And he saw something they didn't. They were all playing the same game, just at different levels. Alessandro didn't want a better position in the game. He wanted to change it. For the first week, he did nothing. No business, no selling, just observation. He visited suppliers, talked to restaurant owners, studied delivery routes, watched how money moved. from start to finish. And then, he built something simple, a platform, a system that connected pizza suppliers directly to restaurants and stores. No middlemen, suppliers could sell for more, buyers could pay less, and in between, Alessandro took a small cut. Just 6%. It was enough. Within weeks, suppliers joined, restaurants joined, transactions started flowing, every deal paid him. But he didn't stop there. He looked deeper. What do these businesses need every day? Flour, cheese, sauce, packaging. So he partnered with wholesalers. Every time a restaurant ordered supplies through his system, he earned another percentage. Then he noticed something else. Delivery trucks, constantly moving. Fuel being burned, all day. So he partnered with a fuel company. Discounts for members. Commission for him. Now, every layer of the system paid him, by the end of the month, $80,000 from platform commissions, $40,000 from supply deals, $20,000 from fuel partnerships, $140,000 in total profit, without making, selling, or delivering a single pizza. Alessandro didn't join the business. He became the business. At the end of the 30 days, Lorenzo de Luca called them all back. He didn't look impressed. He didn't look surprised. He smiled, because this was never a test about pizza. It was a test about something else. Something most people never understand. Leverage. There are levels to how money is made in this world. Most people never move past the first. Marco lived at the level of labor, trading time for money, and time always runs out. Sofia stepped into distribution. She didn't create the product. She controlled who bought it. Enzo operated with capital and trust. He moved money, using reputation as his foundation. And Alessandro built an ecosystem, a system where every transaction paid him, whether he was there or not. Now here's the uncomfortable part. Most people watching this are Marco, working harder, trying to earn more, but still trapped in a system they don't control. Some become Sofia, a few reach Enzo, but almost no one becomes Alessandro. Because to do that, you have to stop thinking about the work and start understanding the game. So they keep making better pizza, faster, cheaper, harder, but they never stop to ask, why does the system reward some people and ignore others? Because the world doesn't pay you for how hard you work. It pays you for what you control. So the real question is, are you trying to get better at making pizza? Or are you learning how to own the table? Most people will watch this, feel the truth of it, and then go right back to the kitchen tomorrow morning. They'll keep flipping dough because they don't have a map to the architect's office. I created depth over hype to be that map. We aren't here to talk about hustle. We are here to talk about systems, leverage, and the psychology of the 1%. If you're ready to stop being the engine and start being the architect, subscribe and join this movement. Share this with the hardest worker you know, the Marco in your life who deserves to see the bigger game. And tell me in the comments, which level are you at right now? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I'll be down there replying to the most serious architects in the room.